Now, tea. And they say that you have to pour from above to get the real flavour, which is also the way to get the drips. Now, I'd been thinking about imagination, and it had occurred to me that, well, because we shared a room for 21 years, and when we were young, you went through a stage of, as I did actually, a stage of night terrors.
I was always seeing things.
Yes, you were seeing things.
Yes, I saw things from when I was about, 13 to 22, and then it stopped.
Which makes one wonder whether it was a brain chemistry something.
Oh no, I got a terrible fright because I saw something I really didn't like when I was 22, and I decided never to see anything ever again.
That's right, I think you told me about that at one point. And your son's inherited the night terrors, hasn't he?
Yes, and the seeing things, actually.
And the migraines.
And I basically tell him you just have to not worry about these things. Oh, and the migraines, yes, just go and lie down in a dark room.
And then when you lie down in the dark room, you see things that are so exciting and so interesting that you actually concentrate on the experience of having a migraine instead of trying not to have a migraine.
That's right. I mean, I'll be seeing animated Kandinsky pictures and ink line drawings of swinging out of sync, but the seats of the swings are eyelashes of closed eyes. They're like Hungarian cartoons or something. And sometimes I have this wonderful feeling of imminence, like it's all going to open up into stained glass windows and choirs of angels, just like Hildegard of Bingen, the composer. But then I think, if I follow this, and it is like following something, it's like you're flying. You have your eyes closed and you're flying through all these colours and shapes and people. And then you think, well, if I follow this, I'm going to have a pounding headache, or I'm going to actually see the face of God. But the threat of the pounding headache somehow seems to be, more plausible for a start.
Yeah, and it's this level of surreality and also that sense of imminence, of pregnancy, of things meaning something, that all actually gets into the structure of your fiction too.
Yes. Well, I just feel that things are meaningful. Everything seems to be saturated with meaning. So it's easy to have your characters persuaded that a bird song at a certain point is meaningful to them. Yeah, because I'm the sort of person who has fabulously colourful nightmares as well as dreams. The feeling of being bewitched by the parade of a narrative in front of your eyes partly comes from our imaginary game and partly from dreaming. But the dreams in Dream Hunter, the dreams that these people go and get, they're much more like mirages of other people's lives or memories, because nothing unrealistic happens in the dreams. They're all firmly rooted in reality. Nobody flies or can breathe underwater, or there are no monsters in the dreams. Terrible things might happen. I mean, there's a dream in which someone's buried alive, but these are all things that can happen in life and have happened in history.
Your books in general have an incredible vibrancy of imagination, and this is their virtue, which has been so commented on by reviewers. And that vibrancy of imagination has nevertheless also got a little bit, it's stored up some trouble for you when people try to make you behave as a particular kind of a writer.
Well, New Zealand has this belief that I think that its artists have to somehow kind of, sign on to the national project a little bit. And we're going through a particularly sort of nationalist time or nation-building time, and a lot of that's positive, that the social program of the Labour government believes in looking after the citizens, and that's all great. But then on the other hand, we're all supposed to be turning our minds to what it is to be a New Zealander, and apparently writing fantasy doesn't necessarily do the work. It is considered that I'm not necessarily putting my shoulder to the wheel of the nationalist project. But On the other hand, there are lots of people, mostly readers, who either don't care one way or another or actually think that I am, and the Nationalist Project really should just shift its borders to accommodate me rather than me move what I do to
the mountain coming to
I
Muhammad.
tend to agree with that point of view.
Well, I'm sure that if we were offered that option, we'd all agree to that point of view.
Red Moon. Red